guys, what's up? Hi. Yes, I know it's been a while since I posted here on my personal channel. I think the last video was on Black Bride's International Day, but the summer has been crazy busy. And by the time this video is uploaded, it's literally like a couple of days before the school year starts, at least for me in Washington State. So I've been playing around with this idea to make this video because I don't know. I just really wanted to share my experience and my journey with it, and just to inform others of this and everything. And yeah, I'm just gonna do it. So if you're reading the title, it says my EMDR therapy journey, and yes, I'm currently in therapy. Before I get into EMDR therapy and what it is, I just want to make a disclaimer. I guess you could say that I don't want you guys to feel like I'm pressuring you or praising or judging you about therapy. I'm not. I'm currently in therapy, and I know that therapy is not for everyone, and I completely understand. And one thing about this type of therapy is, again, I'm not trying to force it on you or anything. I know people do take therapy, not specifically this therapy, but I just want to say, like, if you don't want to take therapy, you do you do what you need to do for your own mental state and your own self-care. And once again, I know that therapy is not meant for everyone, which I completely understand and will respect that. But I just really want to share my journey, my experience so far in my therapy. So first things first, what is EMDR? So EMDR is a shortened version for, let me see if I can pronounce this right, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. So that's what EMDR. Long version short, you are in a way rewiring your brain and processing the trauma, any type of trauma you have been through as a human being. I have made a video on this channel, and it was called How Black Bride Saved My Life, and I opened up about my trauma and what I went through as in my childhood. This might be triggering for anyone who's watching, but I am a survivor of emotional abuse and sexual assault and harassment. And in that video, I explained that this happened when I was so young, and so obviously as a child's brain, in a way I got manipulated thinking what they were doing, all this abuse and trauma I was going through was normal, which wasn't. And obviously, yes, it caused a lot of pain and scars and trauma that when I guess was escape from it, was done with it, I just kind of threw it away and never dealt with it. And that caused a lot of anxiety in me and just a lot of, I guess, stressful situations and triggers in my adult life. And that's why I got into therapy, because people around me and everything were telling me, you need to probably take therapy because you've been through this trauma with your childhood and everything. And at first I didn't want to believe them. I didn't. I thought I was okay. I thought I was normal and everything, but I knew deep down I was in denial. I knew that I needed help. And so I started looking for a therapy. And I know with insurance, that can be so frustrating and a hassle. I went through that whole channel and everything for my insurance for therapy. Oh, it was a nightmare. They really need to make that easier, honestly, to access help, mental help, and not be such a freaking issue with insurance. I swear to God, it's so fucking annoying. Anyway, so I started therapy, I want to say last year, around October, I want to say. I went in to my first session, met my therapist, and we talked, and obviously get to know each other, introduce each other. And she asked me, like, why am I here? And I opened up of what I've been through and told her some experience. She just listened, and she was the first therapist who actually diagnosed me with PTSD. She said, after with all the events I'd gone through and with my anxiety and all these triggers of every other thing, she's like, I truly believe you're suffering from PTSD. And, you know, looking back at it now from everything from my childhood, I can see it. I don't know, it was just that in that moment, I guess you could say I found an answer, because I knew dealt with anxiety. I knew I had all these scars, but I guess I was just wondering, like, what the fuck is wrong with me? And for someone to tell me that it's PTSD, I don't know, it's just really opened my eyes and everything. And that's when she recommended me to do EMDR therapy. She told me that it's time to process all of those horrible memories and process it, because I've been escaping from it. And so before we even dived into all of that, what we ended up doing at first was, I call it this, I don't know if there's a specific term. What we did was we started to make good triggers. Words, sounds, smells to activate in my brain that if I'm in a stressful situation or if my anxiety is getting the best of me, I can either say these words or think of something or think of this image and calm myself down in a way. And that's what we started working on. I have two, I guess you could say, good triggers. One is Sido, which is my adorable pup who I miss her dearly. And my other one is Big Sis. Big Sis is short for Big Sister, who's actually my cousin, but I don't consider her my cousin. I do consider her as my big sister. She's wise. She's like one of the intellectual badass person I know, and I'm so happy that she's my big sister. So we worked on these good triggers, and then she's like, okay, since we have these good triggers, let's start ranking all of the trauma from a scale of 0 to 10. 10 is like the worst. And so with my childhood of emotional abuse and sexual harassment and assault, we first started with the emotional abuse with my stepmom. She told me to name as many memories I've had with her from a 0 to a 10. And she was writing them down, giving them titles and everything. And then as time went on, we went to my very first EMDR session. And we did a level, I want to say 4 or 5, not super intense, but just to get the general idea how EMDR is going to work. And yeah. So with EMDR, the best way I can describe it is it's rewiring your brain, giving your emotional state, your feelings, a chance to process all that trauma and all that pain, and to finally let go. At the same time, letting your rational state of mind not interfere as much, but at the same time, balance those two out. So I will admit, for anyone who's interested or is doing EMDR, at least for me, my first session, I even straight up told my counselor, my therapist, this, like, what the fuck are we doing? Because my rational state of mind was in control. Like, it was questioning, like, why are we doing this? This is dumb that we're doing this. Like, this is pointless. And my emotional state was so scared to process the emotion, the pain, the everything, that it was scared that to even do it. So that was one thing my counselor and I had to really balance and figure out, was like, okay, it's okay, and everything. And so at the start, it was challenging just because my brain wasn't used to thinking that way. But then as we continued on, I guess my emotional state of mind felt it was okay to feel and process this trauma. So we started off kind of slow, and then one session, my therapist said, let's do a 10. I will admit, I was terrified to go through it, to do a 10, especially with the emotional abuse, because at least for me, that level 10 of my stepmom's emotional abuse towards me was a very rough day, to say the least. And with EMDR, with processing and everything, you are reliving the pain. My therapist is like asking me what I see, like it's like trying to remember everything that day, little details like what environment you were in, how were you feeling back then, sounds, smells. And Like, I knew it was gonna happen, but I was scared. I didn't know how I was gonna do. But at the same time, I knew I had to do it. So we did a level 10. I'm not gonna lie, it was hard. Reliving all of the pain again, feeling the pain again, it was hard. And it was just kind of, it's hard to explain, because in that moment you're just reliving all the pain you've been through and everything, and at the same time it's like, you can feel yourself healing. Like, I can, like, here I am, been like pushing all these scars, not processing the trauma and pain, and then I'm finally processing it, and like there's a part of me that's like giving myself a hug, because it's like, you did it. You finally did it. You have healed from this memory. A memory that was a level 10. You brought it down to a 5, to a 3, to a 1, to a 0. I can't describe the feeling. It's rewarding, it's amazing, but at the same time, it's like, it's hard to explain. It's like a mixed emotions, because you're reliving this pain, but at the same time, you can feel yourself healing. It's hard to describe. It really is. And I will admit, EMDR is mentally draining. You're using all your brain power and everything to process this horrible trauma. And I'm gonna be straight up honest. Every time I'm done with the session, I'm like brain dead. Like, I don't want to talk to anyone. Basically, I hydrate. If it's like a level 10, I get comfort food, but most of the time I just don't want to talk to anyone. I'm just like, I want to go home. I want to go into sloth mode and just chill in bed, and that's it. My therapist told me, like, even after that session, your brain is still processing it even as you sleep, which I kind of did not believe her, but after a while, yeah, I did. So in the summer, my therapist and I have been really pulling in all these sessions as much as we can before work start, and I will admit, a couple weeks ago, I just couldn't do it anymore. I was mentally drained from all these processing of the trauma and everything, and then I was very, very sensitive, and I just needed time to myself. I felt very overwhelmed with work coming up and going into these sessions, and life is crazy. Things come up in life and everything, and I was done. I felt pressure to be this bubbly personality and everything, and pressure to make content on TikTok, Instagram, and everything, that I was just like, I was over it. At the moment, I decided to do what I needed to do, and so, I just took a step back to relieve all this pressure and everything from social media and everything, and to really focus on myself, all this processing and everything. And I will admit, a couple weeks ago, I was just in a funk. I was just in this mind fucking funk because I was so sensitive. My anxiety was trying to take control of me, and it was rough. I'm not gonna lie, it was rough. And then I'm just like, again, thinking of other things, of my past and all the trauma, and it's been a roller coaster, I'm not gonna lie. But as I said, it is so rewarding, because my whole life I was just thinking I was just gonna carry this pain with me no matter what. And the fact that is, I don't have to anymore. I can actually heal from it. And it's amazing. With EMDR, I've learned so many things with it. And I'm not going to lie, it is hard because you are reliving and processing your pain of the trauma. You are reliving it. But I'm gonna tell you, it's rewarding because you heal from it. And at least for what I understand with EMDR is that when you are processing it, your therapist doesn't just leave you there, didn't leave you in a corner to process it and have you go into a panic attack. No. Basically a therapist is there to help you guide through the processing and everything. He or she does not leave you there. My therapist, we have like these hand buzzers, and I wish I could show you, but like she puts them in my hand and they buzz as I'm processing it to kind of help me to distract my mind or have my anxiety go to those buzzers. I know other people like do moving their eyes back and forth or square, but like I have these hand buzzers. I close my eyes and I think of it, and then as she turns off the buzzer, she asks me, what do I see? How do I feel? Where's the tension in my body? And before we even start, we kind of have these goals of like, I felt vulnerable, useless, pathetic at this moment when I should have felt supportive and strong, or like a positive to a negative. And throughout the whole process, at least my therapist asked me on a scale of 1 to 10, how does it still feel? And I give her a number, like, how bad is it? Of course my camera stops when I'm in the middle, but I think I was on when I was saying that throughout the whole processing that my therapist continues asking me like if it's still a 0 or a 10 of pain and trauma and everything. And a couple weeks ago we delved into some very old memories. I had a lot of trauma, memories that I just haven't thought about in years, and she's challenging me, which I hate her and love her at the same time. And we did a 10. An hour goes so fast when you're processing trauma. And I know the end goal of processing trauma is getting it to a 0, not a 1, a 0. But at the end of that session, I only brought it down to an 8. And towards the end, I was freaking out a little bit. I felt like I felt a failure, that I failed myself, that my therapist in the last 10 minutes told me no, that I should not feel that way. And she kind of brought me back down to earth, I guess you can say, within the last 10 minutes, helped me meditate, control my breathing, got my anxiety back in control, thought of my good triggers, Sitto, big sis and everything. And she says, like, I always leave these 10 minutes because they're crucial, especially in these situations, that we kind of bring you back from reliving and being in the past. And again, she says, like, you still process it. So I'm currently still doing it, but I honestly think that I've made a lot of progress since October with this EMDR therapy. It sucked to relive and everything, but it's so worth it. I feel free. I feel so much weight has been lifted off my chest, and it's like I can fly. But it's been really intense these past couple of weeks because my therapist and I have just been going for it, and it's really kind of put my mind state in a funk where I'm just like, I can't do it. I can't do life anymore and everything. But right now I'm getting a lot better. My mind is not so funky anymore, and I'm now like getting back, I guess you could say, to my bubbly personality and everything. But I'm human. I can only take so much. As I mentioned, I know therapy's not for everyone. I completely understand it. If you think this is something you're interested in, I would definitely look up into it, EMDR therapy, just because in my opinion, it's worth it. It really is. And I won't lie, when you first start, you're just like, what the hell am I doing? This is pointless. Trust me, I was there. I was completely there, and my therapist kept pushing me, trying to show me, which I'm so grateful she did, because here I am now processing all these memories I don't like to think of and actually bring them down and in a way say goodbye to them and not let them hold me anymore and not let them have a powerful grip in me, especially when it comes to triggers and everything. My progress, my journey with EMDR, it's been a roller coaster of a ride, but it's been rewarding all at the same time, and I'm so happy. And honestly, I have no idea when it will be done. It dumbs it up, because I don't know. It's a weird kind of thing to think about now. Honestly, it is. But no, I'm honestly very grateful that my therapist and I were able to do this over the summer to really get gritty in it, and before work starts, before dealing with all the kids. And I just want to let people know that you're not alone when it comes to trauma. Don't ever think you're alone. There are always people there to reach out to help you out, to vent to, or anything. I have a very close group of friends, and obviously my big sister who I live with, that I go to just to cry or vent and stuff, because life is hard. Life is challenging. It really is. But you can make it easier with surrounding yourself with positivity, with amazing people who love and care for you and who are not toxic. Because toxic people are the worst. Ugh, believe me, I know. I know this video was random, but I really wanted to share this and everything, and I'm ready for the school year. That's a thing that's happening, and I'm sure by the videos this is uploaded, I know, and at least in the BVP Army community, we're all ready for Savior 2. I mean, hello, Savior 2. You just threw that at us, BVP. Like, it's gonna be a crying session. I think it's gonna be a crying session that we all need as fans. Like, it's going to be our therapy session. And I'm like looking, I think it's like what? That Monday night, at least Pacific Standard Time. I'm like, I am down for it. As of right now, I have no therapy session, but you know, I'm down for it. So I think it's a therapy session we all need, a just good cry session, because we all need that, honestly. Again, I just want to say that you're not alone. For anyone who's going to any type of trauma, you're not. Please know that. You're never alone. And I know that's easier said than done, and I know it's easy for me to say and stuff, but I've been in your shoes when it comes to trauma and your anxiety taking control and taking that grip. I just want to say that you're not alone, and you are loved by someone. So, but in all honesty, if this video reached anyone, I hope I could help. So, all my social media links are down below. Please go check out the other YouTube channel I'm a part of, BVB Army Hearts to Hearts, with my amazing friend Nicole. We post there every Wednesday, and it's a lot of work, but it's amazing all at the same time. But yeah, and this channel is not completely dead. I do post from time to time. So anyway, I love you guys, so bye.